Warning. Broken simulation. Broken simulation. With Sam Tripoli.
Welcome to Broken Simulation, and bang, we're in it. Yes, we get it. You don't like when we zoom. I understand. Okay, but you know what? Things are happening in the world that are out of our control. Okay, Johnny's got to venture back to the homeland, or as we call it, the slaughterhouse. Okay, about his
I don't know if
lady
they
out
care
there.
so much as I care. I just don't. As a producer, the quality on Zoom bugs me a little bit, but it's gotten
Johnny's
better.
very, very anal about this.
Yes, Johnny.
Yes, Zoom gets in Johnny's anal right now for sure.
Yeah,
Right? Wouldn't you say?
it does. Yeah.
Respect
Well, and I got
that.
a tweet about it last week on Tinfoil when we were on Zoom. One guy said your mic sounded
My mic?
little crappy.
Tingy.
Although I listened to it and it sounded fine to me, but it was the Zoom episode and it was something going on with Zoom, I think, for part of an episode. But it was also that episode with Ed Mabry that just had
a lot of
problems
chaos in that one. When we're getting close to the action, the masters of mankind tried to shut us down, but guess what we do? Rock.
Oh,
Johnny,
that was another reason I pissed at Zoom is because Zoom lost that file for us when we really, I think, should have had it. And to people who've tweeted it at us, we have rebooked the guy. He's coming back on. So
yeah, and you guys, please don't yell at us. It's an explanation. We're trying, bro. We're trying, man. We want to give you the best. We want to do nothing but bangers, bro. We want to do nothing but bangers. Okay, that's what we're all about, Johnny. You got to start feeling my energy, right? Do I feel like I'm vibrating, bro? Do I feel like I'm vibrating? Like I'm bringing heat, bro?
I got I'm on the East
Can
Coast.
You feel it through the Zoom?
It is 1:30 a.m. for me right now. I'm in a house that's everybody's asleep. I'm across the hall from two sleeping parents, and then my girlfriend has COVID and she's asleep down the hall.
Oh, Johnny, do you got to clean her butt?
What? No, she's not. She's not dying. She has COVID. She has the cold.
Okay. That's how you know if you love somebody. Will you wash them down? Will you wash them down, bro?
Maybe like jailhouse style with just a hose pipe, from a distance with gloves on and a mask.
How much you love me? Will you wash down my bee? You wash down my bee?
That's hard, man. That's hard.
That is hard, dude. That is hard. Johnny, can you tell I'm vibrating, bro?
Yeah, you got a little
step. Sure. Yeah, guess what? Daddy did jujitsu today. Tap two people.
Oh, really?
People. Yeah.
That's exciting.
So what? One was a 14-year-old boy, but I did tap him.
Was he really a 14-year-old? Are you really jujitsuing 14-year-olds?
Well, I took it as a learning experience for me. Okay, I learned. Like if I ever went substitute teach, these kids are in trouble. Okay, that's what I learned today. But no, man, we learned and dude, I actually enjoy. They have a teachers to learn to teach jujitsu, and I would take that. I like teaching people, even though I don't know what I'm doing.
Where, when, and what planet would you ever have time to teach jujitsu?
I'm a teacher, Johnny. I love to give knowledge to the youth. Okay.
You barely have time to do your actual job.
I'm with you, Johnny.
Why would you take on something that doesn't pay at all?
I want to teach the children well, Johnny. Educate the next generation.
So crazy. I just feel like you take on too much, man. You gotta learn. You have to learn something called time management.
I agree.
You're taking on way too much stuff. Teaching jujitsu, you're crazy.
I know, but I'm not saying I will. I'm saying I would like to do it. It would be fun. That
Don't do it.
I'm going to.
Well, there's a million things I would like to do. I would love to be in Paris right now, making out with French chicks.
Well, why can't you make out with French chicks?
It ain't happening, brother.
So I tapped some people out, which feels good. I actually used something I learned in a private that made me feel good.
Really?
The other guy was older
or something. That's kind of cool.
What?
Some secret knowledge that you got in your private lessons. You took it over.
Well, I tried something where I pinned a guy's arm. I had side control. I pinned him his arm down. And he didn't try to pull it out, so I slipped the arm under, brought it in, and cranked it up, and he tapped, bro. And I was
this the 14-year-old or was this someone else?
No, this was the regular size guy.
How old was he?
I'd say he's probably 30 something.
Oh, okay, that's good. A full on man.
I'm probably a little bigger than me.
Oh,
But
that's
don't
good.
get me
Okay.
wrong, Johnny, make no doubts about it. The only reason I'm talking about this is because I'm getting murked in this class constantly.
So, okay,
I am-
so you tapped them twice. How many other times did you roll and got tapped yourself?
Tonight I only rolled twice because I had to run to do this.
So you
I
were
couldn't
2-0.
stay- 2-0.
Good,
But
man.
Johnny, I've been getting murked to the point where I wonder if this is for me.
What's your all-time record, would you say, in jiu-jitsu class?
I would say right now I have probably tapped more than I've tapped, but I would say the most I've had is that we just went the whole time with nobody tapping, which is like just me doing defense the whole time. I'm fighting off savages the whole time. They're just there's just barbarians at the door constantly, and I am just trying to hold them off from trying to choke me out.
But you're just hodoring it the whole time.
I'm just sitting
fun.
there, get my brace, my braces in to hold them, get them off, knees in, pushing them off.
Well, that's a new strategy, getting them off, huh? That's a good idea.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
Drain all their energy.
Well, that is it. You know, you get this hook in. Anyways, the point
I know I'm less aggressive after, a splooge. So maybe that's a good strategy, dude.
So
Get it out.
As Johnny said earlier, I'm very busy. So
yeah,
I had to do I forgot what happened last Tuesday, but I couldn't go to jiu-jitsu. So I decided to go on a Wednesday. And listen, again, I understand we're podcasters. We're not roofers. We're not like that. But Johnny, can I ask you, honestly, after you do all day of podcasting, are you tired?
Oh, yeah. You do all day anything. Yeah, you're tired.
We're sitting around all this electricity. I'm beat up, but I'm like, I got to go to jiu-jitsu. I got to get my day. And so I go to jiu-jitsu right from class. And I'm taking on this tiny Mexican guy with a tiny mustache, some Speedy Gonzalez motherfucker. And bro, this guy, he's a tiny dude and he murks me. Just murks me, bro. And I could feel, have you ever had a moment where your energy just leaves you? It's got to be the feeling that animals have right before they're just killed by the predator.
I know,
like energy, and I got and goodbye to this reality. That's really
I've had that while we used to do wind sprints to dropping to the point where we would know that practice was over, baseball practice, when I would throw up when we were doing conditioning. They would all be like, "Coach,
so Johnny, you were the equivalent of the fat lady singing."
That's right. Yeah.
When Johnny throws up, practice is over.
Coach, Johnny threw up. And he'd be like, "All right, let's go in."
Wrap it up, bro.
That feeling of just not being able to lift your legs, is such a strange. It's a strange feeling. I don't like it.
But I just felt like going. I literally felt that. I felt that the feeling of like when you're playing a video game and your character's out of any kind of turbo and you're just done. That's what I felt in real time. And I'm like, I am so tired right now. And I'm just gonna let this guy just dry hump me the whole time and cover my neck and not get tapped. But I got tapped earlier by this thick-legged guy, just giant thick legs. And then I was like, okay, but I lasted for the whole round. But yeah, I get murked more than I don't. So anyways, so I had a tiny knee injury. I was doing Krav Maga.
Yeah.
Last Tuesday, and I felt like a little pop in my knee.
Ooh.
So it wasn't the point I couldn't work, but I heard it and felt it. And then I was taking on an old school black.
I mean, that could have been serious, dude. You might have blown a ligament or something.
I could have been, but I could walk and I could still kick. And like I was telling you right now, I was just taking on Sean, who's old school black and this is how you know. Johnny, I don't know if this ever happened to you. We ever go to the Y and an old black guy shows up and he does athletics in blue jeans. Have you ever done that? When you ever see a black guy,
this is that story
shredded in blue jeans?
No,
you're about
that's the story about Larry Bird, that when he was trying out for the basketball team in college, they begged him to come on to Indiana State and practice with the team, and he just came out in blue jeans and like work boots and dominated the team.
Yeah. Yeah. But anytime you go to Y play basketball, there'll be an old black guy shows up in blue jeans and lights everybody up.
What is that? What is that, you think?
It's just they're so athletic. And I don't know if you know this, but there's this thing on Instagram where like 70-year-old black guys are still shredded. Have you ever seen this? This is why they still pull young chicks, because they don't age and they're still shredded, dog. Shredded. Like you see them, they're all like, this is my grandpa. And he's just like, bang, bang, bang. Just shredded.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. They have some genes. Yeah. So
if you see an old black guy shows up to anything athletic in blue jeans, you're about to get lit up. Lit up. Yeah. So this guy shows up and he's doing some Bruce Leroy shit from The Last Dragon, right? Just doing some weird karate shit. And bro, he was tossing me around because we were doing this thing where your tie clinches. He had no shirt on and blue jeans. He was just lighting me up.
That's weird.
Lighting me up.
You shouldn't be able to do that.
And I couldn't stop laughing. So when I'm in danger, I laugh.
Yeah.
When I know I'm fucked, I can't stop laughing. So if, like, Johnny, if you came up and started just shanking me with a knife, I would start laughing. I'm dying. You're killing me, bro. What are you doing? You're killing me.
That'd be a good defense in court. I'd just be like, he was loving it. I was just stabbing him and he was laughing. It was consensual.
Yeah, it was just crazy, bro. He just lit me up, bro. Lit me up doing kung fu shit.
It's funny you say that because that's a reaction some people have when they reach orgasm. They
laugh and
they laugh. Yeah, it's a real thing. Yeah.
That might be the most hilarious thing I've ever heard in my life.
And I think it's probably related to your issue because it's something to do with the release of chemicals in the brain, that happens in that moment. And I think that it is probably the same little spot in the brain that's getting tweaked. And a laughter response. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I would feel if I laughed when I was just coming.
I think I've been there before. Where not like that. No, but like, oh, this is amazing. Haha. Like, I can't believe it's happening to me. You know what I mean? Just like joy laughter. You ever get joy laughter? I think I've had that more than a few times. Just like, lucky me. Look at this guy coming up.
Look at this guy. Have you ever got mad at the chick for being too hot to have sex with you? You're like, what are you doing?
Mad? No, I've been
you're like, oh my God, you're so hot and you're hooking up with this knuckle dragger.
Oh yeah, that's that old Groucho Marx joke, right? I wouldn't want to belong to a club that would have somebody like me as a member. Yeah, I mean, I get that impulse, but my response is gratefulness, not to be angry. That might be a you problem, being angry at the person.
I'm not angry at them. I'm not. I mean, I'm
you said
happy
you're mad
to let me hit it, but I'm also like, you could do better. You could be doing it with somebody genetically superior to what you're with right now. You could be hooking up with.
You could be hooking up with the guy, the old school black with the jeans at the.
I bet you old black guys in blue jeans with no shirts on, shredded, get tons of chicks.
I mean, remember those guys that were? Did you go to high school with guys that? I mean, it's always black guys, but just ninth grade were just shred. They look like Stallone and Rocky.
100%.
Yeah.
Bosco Spivey was his name for our school.
You had that
Bosco
guy?
Spivey.
We had a few of them.
And he was the young guy. He was just a great basketball player. And they wanted him to play with the older kids, but he never wanted to do it. So he just wanted to play with his friends. And so when they made him go, he transferred schools. He's like, I'm getting out of here. I'm not.
Because he didn't want to play with the school?
Because he didn't want to play with the older. Well, I'm sure if he heard this and he was like, no, I left because of this. But they wanted him to play with the older kids because he was so good. So, I mean, I had kids in my school that were convinced that they were going to go pro. That's all they did was play.
Yeah.
That's all they did. A Montleone.
And how many of them even went D1? Like, how many of those guys that thought they were going pro even go D1?
So,
it's just
I'm
tough,
trying to find. We had a guy who played in Syracuse, and he actually went pro. and he was a running back
Basketball?
for the
okay, running back.
for the
White or
Green
black?
Bay Packers.
Like that?
Dorsey Levens was his name.
Dorsey Levens?
Dorsey Levens played.
Wait, he's like a legit guy though.
No, he's a legit. It used to be Dorsey. Look at what high school he went. We used to like.
I'm
they would
surprised
just
you had
come
trouble
in-
remember. That guy's like a real player. I mean, I thought he went to Notre Dame.
Yeah, he did go to Notre
And,
Dame,
like,
but he's from the
Somewhere
school.
else. I can't remember.
Will you look at what high school he went to?
Oh,
Because
okay.
it was
Hold
from
on.
Syracuse. Like he used to just light us up, bro.
Nottingham High School.
Nottingham High School, bro. And it was a big deal when Nottingham came in to
Notre
play
Dame
Portland.
and Georgia Tech. He went in the 5th round. I remember him playing for the Packers. That's where he was on those Packers teams when they won the Super Bowl with Favre, you know. And I think
Dorsey Levens,
he's a Pro Bowler.
bro.
Yeah, he made the Pro Bowl.
He had 3 good years. He shows where he led the NFL, where he led 2 years where he led the.
It's so hard to be a good running back though for a long
It's
time.
so hard to be a pro. Like we have no clue how hard it is to become a pro athlete. It's so hard
Forget
to go
about it.
pro in one of the legitimate sports.
There's
It's
so
so
many
hard.
levels to it that you can't imagine. Even once you're a pro, like there are so many levels between. Like I saw this a couple of days ago. This guy who was a 3rd string quarterback for the Vikings, who plays in the USFL now. He tweeted out that that looking at all the depth charts of the guys who made it as backup quarterbacks, he should have, instead of practicing to be a better quarterback, should have practiced to suck up to the starter, because it seems like most of the guys that stayed on were just guys who made friends with the starter, you know, and the starter kind of wanted them around. And
Yeah,
there's
I
some
get
truth
that.
to that. Yeah. But
100%. I mean, that's comedy too, bro. I mean,
yeah, of course, yeah. But
Which
you
is
have
fu-
guys that are like, think about the guys in like PJ Walker.
that
for the
guy
Panthers.
sounds like to me like someone who doesn't know how to play the game of life.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, although I looked at his stats in the USFL, he did win a title, but he's got like 10 touchdowns and 15 interceptions in the USFL.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
like that
dude,
just sounds like a guy who never learned to play the game of life. Anyways, enough sports.
Yeah,
People
enough
are
sports.
losing it on us. Johnny, I've been doing a lot of flying now. I don't know if you know this, but you probably do. But certain credit cards will allow you certain access to certain.
Yeah, we have
lounges.
one. Yeah, I made my girlfriend get one so we could get the American lounge. Yeah.
Okay, so I went to the United. I now can go to Delta Lounge, and I can go to United Lounge. I need to go to. I need to go all of them. They make the whole entire existence of flying 10 times better. If you have an hour to kill,
Yeah.
don't even go to the food court. Go to the lounge.
Yeah.
They got all the food you could
free
ever
food.
want.
Yeah.
Everything you lounge. I mean, some places have showers. It doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah,
dude,
it's the upgrade equivalent of going from the regular security line to the TSA pre-check line.
I don't know what we
Or-
don't talk about that on this show. We don't want people to know about that. We don't want people to know about that. Then
But
the line will be
you're
out the
past
door.
that line, like the terminal experience is that much better if you can get into a lounge of some kind.
So the reason I bring this up, Johnny, because we've talked about this issue on the show before. I think I witnessed a gay man suck off look.
I don't know what someone trying to come on to you?
Not onto me, onto somebody else.
What, like they were giving the signal, like the
Yes. Yes.
what does that look
Yeah.
like? Do it to the camera. Show me.
So the guy walked by and just go. He just walked. And he did it 3 times
What
to
did
the
the
same guy.
Wait, okay. So are you seated? Is everybody sitting down?
So, okay. So the food is over here. There's food. There's a lounge with just tables on the side of the divider. There's a long divider.
Okay.
There's just tables over here with television on the wall. On this side of the divider of this giant wall is like the bigger lounge. And there's a television, and it's like I think it's like Sunday Night Football is playing, right? This is preseason. So against the wall, there's about 4 seats. And there's a charger there. So I'm sitting there to charge my computer and my phone as I'm getting ready to go. So I'm sitting here. This much older man is sitting right next to me. Like it's like there's 4 seats along this wall. I'm in the second seat. He's in the third seat. Then there's 2 seats at the end empty.
Okay.
So I'm sitting down. I'm just, and I look up and I see this one guy walk by this older guy with white hair. And I don't know why, but I looked over and the guy just is like, as he drives, but he keeps walking. And I noticed that the guy in the white hair is like, he kind of goes.
And you weren't in LA, right? This wasn't like a famous guy?
No, this was Chicago.
Oh, okay. All right. Because sometimes in LA, you see
I'm like, that's kind of weird, like a real hard stare.
Was he walking toward the bathroom or the showers?
He's walking towards the food.
Okay.
Like and then he comes back again, gives a hard stare too.
That's weird.
What? And then the guy goes, and I'm like, whoa, bro, is this a gay man suck off stare? And then the guy comes back again and does it again. Again, like a hard stare. The guy's like kind of creeped out.
I would be too. I mean, somebody giving me that. If you're at home.
But Johnny, it was a hard stare.
I'm trying to describe this look that Sam's doing.
Okay, Johnny, we're going to pretend on this, right? Okay. I'm going to pretend you're sitting down. And I'm going to pretend I'm walking by you. And I'm going to show you.
You don't need to pretend I'm sitting down. I am sitting down. But if you.
In the lounge, you asshole.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. So here's how it's going. Ready?
This is not going to be any good for the people listening at home, but okay. Sam's adjusted his camera now so we can see him.
Hey, hold on. Johnny, is this Bigfoot theater?
I don't think this qualifies as Bigfoot theater.
Ready? So
you can see his empty bookshelves just out of the normal camera range. Oh, that's really weird. He's coming back.
He did that 3 times, bro. He did that 3 times, like hard stares.
That's so weird, man. It's just a real, like, Sam, it's like his eyes are going to pop out of his head.
100%.
He also just kind of cranes his neck forward, you know?
Yeah. Like,
I would say,
hey, like almost like, hey.
It's not a seductive look, I would say. It's not something that would turn you on.
It's like whenever you're staring at a chick.
I mean, you might as well just go like that.
Yeah, for sure. But you can't do that in open. You can't do gay man suck off in the middle. And everybody's cool with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I mean, write the guy a little note or something. Pass him a note, man.
Like, have you ever been like
airdrop him a picture of your dick at that point? That's the move.
Have you ever been to a bar and see a chick you want? You like kind of like the whole, like, it's why strippers like fuck with guys' heads, right? Because they do all the mating ritual.
It's the prostitute. It's the prostitute in Vegas thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's how I know. Like, I know you're a hooker because you're looking at me. That's right.
You're hot and you actually are interested. Yeah.
So when you're in a mating sequence, a man will make eye contact with a woman. If the female looks back, that tends to be a sign like, hey, I'm interested. And that's why you'll see women dart their eyes really hard if you make eye contact for a second. They're like, in LA, they do it all the time.
All the time.
And then you go to New York City, you're like, whoa, women are still making hard eye contact.
That's funny. We talked about this when I got back from Chicago, because I noticed I was like, man, I must be looking really okay or something this week, because there was a lot of eye contact. And I realized it's probably just not being in LA, where all these women are trained to hate men and look away from them.
They're all gold digging assassins.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're gold digging assassins.
I'm surprised they haven't come up with an excuse to give us. We have a story about this actually, but like a T-shirt with your bank balance. I've actually seen those. These guys that have like a T-shirt with their bank balance on it, which is just like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? At that point,
what are we doing? Who are you trying to attract? Guys, listen, can you guys believe it's been 7 months without an NFL game? The wait is over because the NFL is back, DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is giving you a can't miss offer for week 1. This week, new customers get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5 on any NFL game. DraftKings is hooking everyone up with game day greatness. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every single game day this September. Check out the app and get it going. Check out the app to see what you can get.
Download now and use the code BrokenSim to sign up. New customers can take home $200 in bonus bets instantly just for betting $5. That's code BrokenSim, one word, only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NFL. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY, HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus 8 varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. See dkng.co/football for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply.
Anyway, what else you get up to this week? It's been a while since we recorded.
Yeah, it's been a while. So I got a bunch of stuff I went home and saw my parents, saw my mother and my brother
you went home?
for the
When did
first
you get
time.
home?
I went home. I went and played Buffalo.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay. How long did you get to see them?
I got a story about that. We'll debate whether we want to put it in or not.
Okay.
But
how
it's
long did you see
funny. My mom and my brother I saw for 2 days. My brother came and hung out with me the whole time. I love hanging out with my brother. My brother is the genetically superior brother. 100%.
He's younger than you too, right?
He's younger than me. One time, a long time ago, me and a bunch of my friends, we did who had a bigger dick contest. My brother has a bigger dick than me.
Oh, that's depressing.
The worst, bro. The worst. When you're the older brother and you know your brother is packing more than you, the worst.
That sucks. Did he ever, like when you were doing comedy, did that ever appeal to him? Did he ever think about that?
No, you know, it did appeal to him when I was doing all the stripper porn stuff. He started working at a strip bar and I'm like, have I destroyed my brother?
That's really what got him? Because I remember you talking about
No, I don't know if that got him. I'm only joking. Me and my brother are my father's sons. My dad definitely liked to enjoy the more carnal parts of life, right? He definitely had some vices, and me and my brother are our father's son. And my brother liked running. My brother was basically like, you know, that show where the bar rescue, but he did with strip bars. He would go in there and flip strip bars.
But I know what you mean.
You never seen Bar Rescue where that Italian guy just yells at everybody?
I've watched Kitchen Nightmares though, and I think that's the same premise.
Yeah, basically where they go and they tell the restaurant you suck.
I love it. I love Kitchen.
Better.
I love Gordon Ramsay and Kitchen Nightmares. That's I've seen every episode of that.
Dude, do you get excited when you find a fun restaurant?
What do you mean fun? Like good?
A new restaurant? You're like, oh, I discovered this new restaurant. I found a sushi place.
Oh yeah.
Called Roll. And right there, I'm like, okay, that's not the best name ever. I don't know if I'm going to go
like
there.
Like a roll, like a salmon roll?
Yeah, roll.
Okay.
And I went in, they got this like spicy lobster roll.
It's good, huh? Oh.
The best, bro.
There's great.
Full on $24. Right? $24 got full. You don't get that anywhere in LA.
Nowhere.
Bucks. So I go, my brother comes to see me. I hang out with my brother. My brother works at this brewery. It's a really nice brewery. And it's just like, dude, you know this. You're in North Carolina right now. I mean, like, if you got a nice bar business, you have you could just have acres of land. Like this guy, like whoever owns my brother's bar is set, man. It's like the nicest bar my brother runs. He loves managing stuff. My brother could have managed a Fortune 500 company if he wanted to, but my brother probably does it right where he's like, I just want to do enough that I could have money in the bank and chill. I don't want to my brother's not a cutthroat guy. He's more of a chill dude.
Yeah, you have to be a sociopath to do to be like a CEO of
right. That's not my
company.
brother. My brother's chill, you know. and he's got double earrings. I'm like, I really want to do that. I really want to do that. But anyways,
wait, he's got earrings in both ears.
What?
He's got earrings in both ears.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
What do you mean? That's interesting.
Well, I what I'm thinking in my head was like, you know, there was a while they said, okay, this one means you're gay. Oh, this one means you're gay. And I think the move is if you're not sure which one means you're gay, just get both done.
Yeah, but so Johnny, what you're saying is that this one means you're gay, this one means you're gay, but if you get both, that means you're gay, which means you're straight.
Exactly. It cancels each other out.
Yeah. So now you're super straight. That's how you do it, bro. You don't get one ear and you get how gay are you? I'm so gay, I'm straight. That's how gay it is. All right. So he goes there and we get there and my brother's like, oh, we have this giant event tonight. And so we go in there, all the staff is like, oh, so my brother's known as Trip. He doesn't go by his real name. He goes by Trip, which is his nickname.
Not Trips. Just because you've been called Trips.
And he got mad at me this weekend. He goes, it's Trip, not Trips. Okay. Could you do it? I'm like, okay. All right.
Wait, so you call him Trips?
I call him Jason.
Okay. Who is correct? Who is he correcting?
Me.
But
because when I'm at his work, they know him as Trip. So, but I was calling him Trips.
Oh, I see. Okay. To
and
other
he's like,
people,
it's not Trips. It's Trip. I go, no, it's Jason, and you're an idiot, okay? Because I have to check my brother once in a while because he's a retard, right?
Do you guys argue a lot?
Not like we used to. I mean, the last time I was there, I asked him to go outside to fight.
About what? Why didn't you talk about that? What did you almost fight about?
Not this time, but the time before that, I was in the living room.
You didn't tell us about that. What happened?
Because my mom was sleeping in her room. I was in the living room. I'm talking to Dana. My brother decides to come up and grab something to eat. And he goes, hey, man, could you be quiet? Mom's sleeping. I go, whatever, dude. Let me finish the call. And he just went nuts on me and grabbed me. And I go, bro, I go, outside. Out fucking side right now. And I'm texting. I'm like, come outside so I can beat your fucking ass. Come outside.
So you went outside and started texting him to come out?
Yeah. Because I didn't want to upset my mom. Because we were like, I put him in a tie clinch, which was going to be devastation time for him.
Wait, he did come outside?
No, he didn't.
In
the living room, I put him in a tie clinch. And I did. My mom has just antiques everywhere. I didn't want to mess anything up. I didn't want my mom to lose it because my mom would lose it. Any turbulence with my mother makes her question her existence. Like you're like, hey, dude, I don't like pizza. What have I done wrong with you? What? You're like, that's my mom, right? Like, oh my God. I thought you were so hungry. I'm like, Mom, I just want mushrooms on my pizza. That's my mother. So I'm like, I gotta see you outside. Come outside and come get some. Tough guy comes in. He wouldn't come outside because no matter how much my brother acts like he's a tough guy, I whooped his ass so much as a kid. It's still in there. It's still in there. I used to take I told you this before. We would make up new belts for my brother to have just so I could take his belt from him in wrestling.
What? Well, so he was like the Intercontinental Champion, and
I'd be like, "You are the new ABF champion," and then I would whip his ass. I'd be like, "And new ABF champion."
That's so bad, dude. I was thinking that I saw a video go around on Instagram the other day of this family, and this guy makes his younger brother. The guy is it's probably an uncle or something, and he makes this boy who's maybe, I don't know, 11 think that he's been turned invisible, and the whole family is like, "Where'd he go? That's amazing! Oh my God!" And the kid just starts freaking out, like, "Can you see me? Oh God!" and crying, tears are streaming down his face. And I used to do exactly that to my sister. I got a magic wand, and so I would say, "Okay, I'm going to make you invisible." And
I've seen that video
before.
We can't see where
I did, dude. I was doing that in the 90s to my sister. I would tell my parents, I would be like, "Listen, no matter what she says, don't tell her you see her." And then I would tap her on the head, and I'd be like, oh my God, it actually worked. I don't know how to bring her back. Oh no. And she would just start bawling. And eventually my mom would break. My mom would always be the one to break. She'd go screaming to my mom, Mom, can you save me? Oh no, I'm trapped here. And then finally she'd come back. But yeah, I mean, I regret.
Johnny, please stop making your sister disappear. Please.
It's hard not to be a bit of a bully to your younger sibling sometimes. It really is difficult not to do that.
It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's all the fun. I mean, shit used to be boring. There's not a lot to do.
No, but the things you would get away with as a kid, you could never get away with now. And I don't know if that's better. I do think we're in a danger zone where adults are starting to put adult responsibilities onto children.
Yeah, school is definitely more geared.
It's getting weird as shit, right? It's getting weird as shit. So the whole point of this thing.
Yeah, you were in Buffalo, right?
We go no. I was in Cortland. We go to Ithaca. Yeah. My brother runs a brewery in Ithaca, so I go to Ithaca, right? And I go in there, and we're sitting there, and then everybody starts to lose. They're like, "Oh my God, he's here! He's here!" I'm like, "What?" They're like, my brother's like, "Oh my God, you won't guess who's here." I go, "Who?" He goes, "Bill Nye, the science guy."
What?
I go, "What?" I go, "What?" Well, it turns out he went to Cornell, and they were having a Cornell Frisbee football 50-year reunion. For 50 years, Cornell's been doing Frisbee football. And he comes in, and bro, when I tell you this guy's got he looks like, do you remember like in Hanna-Barbera cartoons, the vulture?
Yeah.
Where he had like the big like hunchback.
Yeah.
That is Bill Nye. Bill Nye has like a turtle shell at the top.
Oh, it's so interesting.
Right?
Yeah, I loved him as a kid. I get why people were kind of speaking of him in hushed tones, because as a kid he was huge.
Going nuts. There's no way that guy can't get young chicks, because these young girls who all went to Cornell were freaking out that Bill Nye, the science guy, who's not a science guy at all,
Bill Nye, the science guy.
Right? And they're freaking out. He is like nerd dork royalty.
Yeah, it's him and like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Those two are.
Yeah, I mean, like two of the worst.
Oh, they're terrible.
Like,
yeah.
And like my mom's like, "Oh, Bill Nye science guy's here." I'm like, "Mom, he's not a science guy." She's like, "Stop it right now, Sam. Please stop it. Don't do this, Sam. Not with me here. Do not do that. Okay, I'm not in the mood for you to question Bill Nye right now. Okay, people are happy. Let them enjoy it. But it was a nerd dork fest, and Bill Nye was king of the dorks. It was unbelievable. It goes back to like how they say famous people all have huge skulls. He had a huge skull. He looked like a bobblehead on top of his weird posture.
You have a big head,
crazy. Right? What?
You have a big head, right?
I don't. For my head,
think you do.
Not very
I think
big.
you do. Yeah.
I don't, Johnny. I have a small head.
We should measure your head. I feel like you have a large head.
I would like to shave my head, but I am from France head. I am from France. That's my head.
What does that mean? I don't even know what you're talking about.
I am from France.
What is that?
You don't remember the cone heads?
Oh, yeah.
I am from France. That's my head.
I watched that movie as a kid a million times. It's funny. That's a movie that did not stick. It used to be one of those ones that you'd see on HBO all the time, but it did not stick around in the rotation. I haven't seen that in decades.
Well, it's really crazy is how like none of these things are sticking around. These kids aren't getting anything from the past. There's so much content creating now, particularly on YouTube, that they don't get anything from the past.
And any of the stuff they do get is remade, anything that it's all remakes. So it kind of buries the original.
So what I've been doing, Johnny, is I have been, I've decided to start giving my daughters some like taste of like old school music. And because like we're like going around, like they're starting sadly to age out of the, of like the Sesame Street stuff. Like they're like they're only 3, but they want to listen to a little bit more, and it's kind of fun to introduce your kids to new shit. It's like probably one of the biggest perks of being a parent.
Imposing your tastes and values on them. Yeah, I get it.
What?
That's one of the biggest perks of
Johnny?
imposing your tastes and values on your children. That's a great perk of being a parent.
I just gave you the Donald Trump. What? What stupid stuff did you just say?
It is right though, right? I mean, it's kind of what you want to do. You don't want them to hate all the stuff you like.
Well, I think what it is you give them a taste of what you enjoyed, and then from there they could use that and go check out the other stuff.
Yeah, I didn't get any of that growing up, dude. I was just.
Well, I mean, like while I was young, everybody's parents were into like Led Zeppelin, the Beatles. My dad straight up Motown. I grew up on the Temptations.
Yeah, it was all country music for me.
You look like you were dark. You look darker now.
Yeah, there's something with the exposure and Zoom. It keeps changing it, but yeah, it's
Stevie Wonder,
all country.
Aretha Franklin. That's all I listened to as a child.
That's great, man. That's great.
My dad wanted to be black so badly.
That's funny. Did he like black women?
You know, it's the triangle, right? Jews want to be blacks. Blacks want to be Italians. Italians want to be Jews.
Yeah, that's 100%. And white guys want to be any of the above. We'll take anything.
Yeah, we'll take anything. Just leave us alone. Just leave us the fuck alone, dude. Yeah. But so we started. So it turns out my daughters love ABBA.
ABBA?
My daughter's favorite song is Mamma Mia. So, okay. So I've been wanting to play Metallica for my daughters.
Okay.
And Dana's like, no, let's play some Taylor Swift. Now, I'll be honest with you. It's impossible to hate Taylor Swift. She is.
It's not impossible.
Music wise?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the music is good. Yeah, but
it's
her personality is
like you just
insulting.
have to hate anything mainstream to really hate Taylor Swift.
No, I'm with you. It's the same way with like Olivia Rodrigo. She makes good records, I guess.
Taylor Swift is the Cheesecake Factory of music, where it's just like,
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Chicks like it, guys dig it. It's a
factory for churning out acceptable stuff, basically.
Yeah. And that's why she's playing. That's why she's playing the Staples. Like, I think she's too big for the Staples Center now.
She's too big for every venue. Yeah, they could double the size of SoFi and she'd probably fill it. Nobody can get a ticket.
Yeah, crazy. It's crazy, right? So you get it because like
she's gonna be a billionaire.
She's the exact opposite of me, which is I like to press everybody. My brother was talking about this. He's like, I miss when Sam just did jokes and didn't try to constantly challenge everybody all the time. And that kind of had an effect on me when he said that, to the point where I don't even know if I want to record this hour that I just doing. Because, I mean, am I, like, my whole bit about how everybody's retarded is so great, but am I challenging people too much? That's the question.
No, you don't let anything anybody says to you, unless they're a comedian you respect, influence
Johnny,
your comedy.
I literally did a show in the Improv Lab like a week ago where I wanted to quit comedy.
Well, that's famously a difficult room, right?
Yeah, it is. It's like, it's where open micers were sacrificed to the comedy gods.
Yeah,
and it's just got weird juju. I love the improv. The main room is just love. That side room is just nuts. Just nuts.
What happened that made it was just no reaction or what?
So there was this comic going on, Wade Fetterman, who's like super funny, dude. He's like been around for a while. He's old school, great writer, but like the 180 from me. Great writer, good writer, like got great punchlines, but like we're two ends of the spectrum.
Like what? He's got like a really tight act with like setups and punchlines.
Yeah,
really
but
structured.
He's super funny. He's like super funny, and he's a great guy.
You're not trying to offend the guy. He's just different. Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
You're chocolate. He's strawberry. Whatever. Yeah.
Right. And like as he's crushing, I'm going, I'm in trouble. Yeah, like he is annihilating the room.
And what you're just sitting over there thinking like,
Going, yep, this is gonna be a weird one. And I walk up on stage, and the whole room has the vibe of like teachers who want to transition fourth graders. That's the vibe in the room. That's who's in the room. Like I feel like I'm at a parent teacher conference, and I'm doing well at first, and then I just start getting into like what makes me happy, and I lose the entire room.
What is that? What do you mention in that run there? What is that? Is that talking
about how all the
during
pro-choice women are very unattractive?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. And what do you does part of you think before, like maybe we don't do that bit tonight?
Well, here's what I do, Johnny, is like I give them a chance to get on board. So I'll do 5 minutes. And if I'm still having to prove to you that I'm funny, I will fly the plane into the building. I have zero problems with it. I'm going to leave a mark for all of us. And this is kind of what I'm going through on stage.
And what? So what do you mean by that? You just start doing crowd work and kind of flame throwing people? Is that what?
No, I start going into this stuff. I go, oh, okay, this is everyone loves ice cream crowd, and Daddy's not doing any ice cream jokes. I'm gonna shit in your birthday cake right now. That's
so you go dark.
I just flame throwing at this point, and
okay.
I don't care, even though deep down inside I really do care. And I want to cry.
100%. Yeah.
Because I just want to be loved. But at the end of the day, I have such a dark sense of humor from just trauma of my childhood.
Well, okay. So earlier on, did you compromise that more and try to do more upbeat stuff?
No. Back in the day, you could be more provocative in Los Angeles.
Okay.
On the road, there's no problems.
So you wouldn't say the tone and subject matter of your act has changed so much as the crowds have. Is what you're saying?
100, dude.
Okay.
It is a everybody loves ice cream crowd. And you can't like we are in our anthem rock phase of comedy right now, and they're all funny, they're all great writers, but nobody's provocative anymore. No, the fear of getting canceled has just rain down on comedy.
Well, and the worst thing is when it's not even a fear of being canceled, it's that they agree with the people doing the canceling. They don't want to do those things because it's not them. You know what I mean?
I see that a lot, dude. Yeah. That is it. You're totally right. You nailed it.
That scares me, man. That scares me.
Like Shane Gillis, who's like had this amazing like recovery from this moment of being canceled off Saturday Night Live, and then you watch, and he just dropped his new special on Netflix.
Oh, he's on Netflix. Wow. Oh,
yeah. Well, that is the amazing journey, right?
No, now I get it. Yeah, you good for him.
Farted. So, I'm gonna fart again. There we go.
Oh, there he is. Beautiful dog, Shane Gillis. 52 minutes.
Crush, and that's kind of crazy.
Hey, I love this. It says this movie is absurd, raunchy, irreverent.
But he's really smart on how he does it. He's so smart on how he operates. But it's like that guy's journey is like insane. And the most insane part is like I watched all these comics throw that dude under the bus during the Saturday Night Live shit. And now they're all celebrating him. And it makes me, I'm happy. But at the same time, I'm like, why did you guys let that happen? It's like the old myth or fairy tale or whatever it's called about the lumberjack who goes to the forest, goes, I'm going to cut one of you down. Which one do you want me to cut down? And the trees all talk, and the trees pick the smallest tree they had, and they go cut him down. So the lumberjack cuts him down, takes the tree, turns him into an axe, and cuts all the rest of the trees down.
Wait, what did he cut the first tree down with?
He just chopped it. I don't know. He just
side of his hand.
Yeah. I think he was that guy from Umbach who just can kick trees down. So he went down and he did a tie kick onto the tiny tree. The tiny tree's like, I'm so tiny. And he went down, and then he just used the power of karate and turned it into an axe. By the way, Johnny, nobody asked that question.
It's a good question, I think.
No, nobody's asking the question. Okay? Nobody. Yeah.
I am.
So what is
yeah. No, I mean,
that's
we're talking about those
I
people.
just enjoy
I hope he kept receipts.
enjoy punk rock, and Hollywood, there is no place for that right now. No, and Johnny, when I say Hollywood, I literally mean Hollywood. Once you get out of Hollywood, it's a totally different game. But the collection of in Hollywood is so insane now. They are the ones who have no problem. Like, I got a friend of mine who just sent me a screenshot of an email he got for a production he's working on, where they asked him what his pronouns are.
Oh, good grief.
What? This is the only place, like, this corporate America bullshit is where that happened. And it drives me nuts.
Yeah, I hope it's a fad kind of, culturally, I hope it's just something that passes, a phase, and not because think about it, every generation going back since forever has fought, there have been changes that the older folks haven't liked. And I just hope we're not those older people that are dealing with, the Woodstock generation.
Johnny, here's the whole thing that I'm saying this is like, my question to you right now is, does common sense change? Is the common sense of the 1700s the same common sense of today?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So
no, I'm sorry. No, I don't think it's the same. No, because think about, like, it would be common sense now to say, like, who cares if gays get married? But
I'm with you.
Years ago,
so it does change, right?
Yeah,
it does change.
Changes, yeah.
We would agree on that.
Yeah.
But to what extent, right? So here's what I got to ask you, man. So we've never really gotten to the Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis thing. That's
we
going
did.
on.
Yeah, we did that.
Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we went through all the tweets and everything. Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember it.
On the 100th episode, we did that.
But do you understand, Johnny? Like, that whole thing stems from what I've been saying about these chicks putting out their fucking body counts.
Yeah, we did that talk. Yeah, we did that.
But what I get, because this is about what you're talking about, what I get pushback is boomer. But it's not boomer, because the reality is this is what we're talking about. Is because it doesn't matter how progressive you are at your core, you still have caveman DNA. And
we all do.
She cucked her fiance. She cucked him. And she's going, and you know what's so funny about her? And we talked about this on Tinfoil Hat, just that whole bit about how she just needs to get destroyed by a dick. That is her version of comedy content. She's doing comedy content right there. I'm just being wacky.
Yeah. It's really not, though, is it? There's nothing funny about it. The only reason people tolerate it is because she's hot. She wasn't hot.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, it's again, it gets into this thing where you hear women complain that when they get older, they become invisible. And it's like, it's like what Chrissy Mayer was saying. It's like, your whole thing is about relationships. Yeah. When you have pussy power, you talk about your pussy all the time. But what you don't understand is you're putting out the energy. Like, for me, when I get off stage and I say some crazy shit, I don't get off stage and shocked that people look at me like I'm a crazy person. My buddy that I know from just some of these things I go to, he brought his wife, and his wife was like, "You guys are fucking nuts." Did I get upset about that? I mean, and she didn't mean it in a way she's laughing at, but you could tell she's not into conspiracies, right? It was tinfoil hat.
Did you ever invite dates to your shows, like women that you wanted to impress?
Johnny, can I tell you something? I've been on one date in my life, and it went so bad. I never dated on again. I've never been on a date. I went on one date with a girl one time.
You didn't go on dates in college with all those women that you hooked up with?
Nope. I meet them, hook up,
That's so that's dysfunctional, dude.
Yeah, Johnny, that's my whole thing. I am the result of, and like, I don't want to get like into like a self-help podcast, but I have so much trauma that just fucked up my sense of like reality that I'm like slowly now unwinding this shit. Like, that's what I'm going through right now. My relationship with women is based on, I asked Shannon Quinlan out one time. She never ever, she said, laughed in my face. I never asked another woman out again.
It's debilitating. I've heard Bill Maher talk about this.
First time she laughed in my face.
Yeah. No, I've been there.
We're friends now. I don't hold it against her. She was a super hot 8th grader. I was a 7th grader. She's super hot. And I just thought she was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've been there. Yeah, dude.
And I asked her out. She said no. And I was just devastated. I never asked another girl out in high school. I had 2 girlfriends for 2 weekends. So then I go to college and it's on. Like walking to class, meeting a girl, hooking up like that.
That's the thing I don't understand. See, it was really very much the opposite experience for me in high school. High school is pretty easy for me, to date and have relationships. And then in college, it was like a light switch. It just all went off. It wasn't easy. The women were much, what would you say, like less approachable, more aloof.
I don't know. Something happening from the day I stepped on campus where I went from guy that people thought was retarded to the funny guy. And then funny became attractive. And it was just on. And
funny was not attractive for me. Yeah, I was always the funny. Like in high school, it was because I could be in a class with somebody and wear them down.
In high school, it wasn't. It was just weird, dude. And when I talk about like the amount of women I hooked up with in college, I look back and I go, man, that guy, like, what an awful way to look at the world. And I know that's me kind of shutting doors behind me on these young guys going, listen, dude, I know it's fun hooking up, but it's an energy ritual. And you do it enough, it's going to blow up in your face. That's my real belief right now. Now it's easy for me to say that at my age, and I'm not always the best at practicing what I preach. I'm a flawed guy, like really flawed, really fucked up.
Totally you are. Yeah.
Thank you, Johnny. I'm trying to have a moment here. You're supposed to be like, hey, you're doing great. Keep going.
You're doing great, buddy. You're doing great, buddy.
Not you, Captain Scumbag.
You're doing great. Keep going.
Thank you, dude. Thank you. I have other things I want to talk about, but I'll wait till we're in studio to talk about them.
Okay.
The heckling I got in Buffalo, but we'll talk about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, go on. Do that.
I want to talk about it in studio.
Okay.
It will be longer.
I found that clip.
I got heckled by a fat midget and it was hilarious.
Wait, so you're going to just say that and not say.
Yeah. And then we'll go into it next week.
All right. Yeah. I found the clip I was talking about, by the way. I think this is something you sent to me, actually. You'll recognize this when you see it, I think. Remember this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to play this now.
I'm not joking. I have asked the last 3 dudes I've dated for their bank account info on the first date.
I don't judge people's actions. I look at the intention behind it. So like, why do you ask for that?
Because I only want to date a wealthy guy that has money.
Valid. So you're getting straight to the point.
I think, I have a job. I'm very successful. So I think I have every right to be like, hi, are we on the same level or am I wasting my time? I'm not.
I hate everything about this.
Well, 1, she's hot. And 2,
yeah, she's hot.
It is like, I mean, it is obviously not working, right? I mean, she's like the last 3 guys I've dated. It doesn't seem like it's working.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's true.
That's just all I'm saying. It's like proof is in the pudding. And I also don't think you should date broke dudes. I mean,
see, I don't. I disagree completely.
How old is that chick? It comes down like people get
27, maybe. I don't know.
27, dude. Okay, you are getting to an age where you want to be more serious. I think I've been talking about this. Like, when you're young in comedy, you're like cool with not making money because you just want to do stand up for the art of stand up. But then there becomes a point, and I think for men. like you're watching all these young girls. At what age should a man be a millionaire? They're like 25. I'm like, what world do you live in where a man should be a millionaire at 25? It's like crazy to me. Okay, now if you think a man should be a millionaire by 25, you're going after 1% of 1%. Good luck on that. Good luck.
Oh, it's even less than that, I'm sure.
Right? It's just ridiculous. I think a man should be on his path to understanding where he wants to go by 35. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Now,
I mean, even
lucky,
that's been pushed later, I think. Yeah. But yeah.
well, I've been lucky that at 22 years old, I knew what I wanted. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do from the moment I knew I existed. So I've been blessed in that. But I didn't make money till when I say make money, like I wasn't living check to check till I was 42 years old.
I think that's a pretty typical course, but that's exactly my point, man. I don't think, first of all, I have a problem with the language where he goes valid. Like, no, it's not valid to ask somebody their bank details on the first date. There's nothing valid about that. Where does that guy
fit into the normal landscape of human beings? The guy with the shaved heads and the pearl fucking wristband.
I have a feeling his head is shaved so he can easily put on and remove a wig on the weekends.
Dude, that guy totally has gay energy, right? Yeah. So it's like valid girlfriend, because that's
not valid.
That's what women do.
But that's the language that you can't tell anybody that, hey, that's stupid. Everything has to be, well, that's valid. You've justified it to me. But there was a dating app that used to ask this question. Would you be okay dating someone who had considerable debt? And my answer was always to that, like, that's literally none of my business. Quite like literally, it's not my business. And I feel the same way about what you just said, because that is, if you're actually trying to find someone that you're emotionally compatible with and that you're going to love on some level, if that's really what we're wanting here and not just to hit the jackpot and marry Oprah Winfrey, then you shouldn't handicap your options like that. I just don't, I don't know, man. I don't believe in that.
I just lost you.
Yeah, I'm still here. It's just the camera. I don't know, man. That whole thing just grossed me out. This chick sucks.
Well, it just goes into like listen, you know what's very interesting is, and this again gets into the whole thing about women. Women make the rules of society, right?
Yeah.
So women are completely and utterly allowed to indulge in their primal drives, which is finding the male with the most resources. So when a woman's like, I want to date a man who has wealth and spends wealth on me, everybody, women are like, yes, queen. But when a man goes, I want a woman who can give me children and create a home for me, you're like, oh, you're oppressive scumbag. And that just lets you know who runs society. Listen, I don't think anything's wrong with women wanting to date a man who has drive. But if your whole purpose in dating somebody is their bank account, you're going to run into psychos. You're just going to. If it's not an energy thing, like you have romantic energy with this person,
right?
That's got to be first.
Yeah,
then the money needs to be second. Now, if you run and have romantic energy with somebody, you're sexually attracted to them, you get along with them, and you're with them for a little while, and they're not working, I get wanting to bail. I don't think a woman should date an unemployed guy. But
well, I mean, it depends on if he's working towards something, if he's got a plan.
Yeah, right. But there's got to be a plan.
I feel like you can't have it both ways. Either you're trying to find someone you're emotionally and compatible with, or you're gold digging.
Let's do news stories. Let's do
that just doesn't look as good, does
stories.
Oh boy, you got me there. News. Okay. Couple of things. You mentioned earlier that Agdal chick was kind of cucking her man.
Yeah.
And did you see that lady Sansa from Game of Thrones is back on the market. Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas are Splitsville. And the last straw, apparently, and this is a warning to all men out there, Joe saw and heard something on his Ring camera at home that was the last straw, apparently, in his decision to seek a divorce. Something happened.
God, what was it?
We don't know, but there was something that he saw and heard over the Ring camera that led him to pursue the divorce. What do you think that was? Probably a phone. I'm guessing he probably overheard a phone call, maybe with another guy.
Yes, that's what I think.
Interesting,
That's what
right?
I think.
All
Yes.
this surveillance. You got to remember that you could be. I mean, how often I've
All
heard about
the time, bro.
I know 2 people who had breakups because they put on location sharing with their significant other on the phone and were lying about where they were.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you're gonna get in trouble, bro.
Never turn on location sharing.
Yeah, never turn. Listen, dude.
Crazy.
I mean, it's getting crazy out there. It's just getting crazy out there. I couldn't understand. They're like, dude, don't get in a relationship until you're ready to give up, guys. That's what it is.
Ready to give up.
Yeah, just give up when you're ready to give up. That's when you get in a relationship. That's it.
All right.
Call it a fucking day after that.
Now, somebody breaks into your home. They're coming in, bad intentions. What would you say is a fair punishment for that person? If you were like an eye for an eye type, what would you say is a fair punishment for somebody who is breaking into your home and trying to steal? What would you be okay shooting that person while they're in your home?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's an approach that somebody else took, and I want you to tell me if you would take this approach. This is from Melbourne. It's reported by the AAP. A Melbourne man who overpowered and raped an intruder will spend at least 4 years in prison.
What?
Clay Holland, 32, faced the Supreme Court of Victoria on Tuesday when he was sentenced to 8 years imprisonment with a non-parole period for 4 years and 10 months. Holland's victim, Shane Cox, had broken into a unit in Melton in Melbourne's west in March 2021, armed with a knife and wearing a mask. He had asked for money and drugs and was illegally linked to others who had gone to the home and
dude, that is crazy, bro. That is nuts.
The guy was 36. He was 36 at the time. He was high on meth. And he was overpowered by the guy who was a guest at the home. That wasn't even his house. He was a guest.
Dude, that is Johnny. I want to say, dude, this is the craziest story you've ever done. You break in to commit a crime, and a worse crime is committed against you.
Yes. Mr. Cox, listen, dude, we're not even done. The guy, Mr. Cox, was beaten with a baseball bat and was incapacitated on the floor, where Holland then raped him.
Oh my God. You got to beep those words, by the way. YouTube will not enjoy this.
His body was found at the scene under a pile of blankets a day later by police who arrived at the property on an unrelated matter. He was hogtied, his mouth was duct taped, and his pants were pulled down to his upper thighs. In March, a jury convicted Holland on 1 charge of rape, but he was found not guilty of manslaughter.
Did the guy die?
No. I don't think so.
Yeah, of course. You can't get manslaughter if the guy doesn't die.
Your rape of Mr. Cox was a callous and degrading and humiliating act of retribution, Justice Christopher Beale said.
Dude, that shit is nuts, bro. That is nuts. That is nuts. That's the craziest story you've ever done.
Can you imagine being high? Oh, man. That's wild, dude.
Wow, Johnny, what do you think? Now, if he would killed him, he wouldn't gone to jail, right? Because he's defending himself. But the fact that he took his beehole, he broke his cheeks. Now he's in jail.
Broke his cheeks. Oh, what is that? What does that even mean?
Isn't that a saying now?
Broke his beehole? No, I mean,
gave up the cheeks.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I was broke his beehole was really the thing that got me.
Unbelievable. So the guy breaking in was high on meth.
That's what it sounds like.
What was the guy who did something to him? Was he just normal? I'm sorry.
I don't
This
know.
guy-
I'm not sure which one was high. It might have been the
Hold
guy.
on.
Doing
So the guy comes in with a knife?
Yeah, knife, dude. He came in with a knife, bro. Yeah, and he was connected to people that had tried to break into other homes before or something like that.
Like, Johnny, do you think this guy deserves? Do you think
Be
he
raped?
deserves?
No, he doesn't.
No,
deserve
do
to
you
be
think he
raped.
deserves to go to? The guy deserves 4 years.
4 years is a long time. But I just don't. The thing that the logical leap that I'm having trouble, sort of, what would you say, crossing here is where the energy goes from I'm trying to get this guy out of my house to now I'm gonna rape this guy. You know what I mean?
But it's not even his house either.
Yeah. At what point do you go from like I just want to? The guy's got a knife. I want to survive. To, nah, I'm gonna rape him now. You know, he's there.
That's
Nice.
so crazy. Like,
Nice
at what
butt.
point does that come into your head? What point do you
I
like?
don't know. Maybe he's been to like
Guy's
prison. Or
out.
something.
I mean,
maybe it's
maybe
like
I'll
prison justice.
break his cheeks.
Break his cheeks. So this is another story that's just one of the, we talk about flying a lot because we both fly a lot. And did you hear this story this week? This is from Fox about this flight that was on its way to Europe from Atlanta and
Yeah,
got
you sent me
diverted.
this.
Okay. A Delta Airlines flight from Atlanta, Georgia to Barcelona, Spain was diverted back to its original airport after a passenger experienced, quote, an onboard medical issue, which was reportedly a case of diarrhea that extended all the way through the plane.
Oh my God, bro. How embarrassed would you be if that happened to you?
I got good news for you too, Sam. We have video from this flight now. Video has since emerged of the flight in question. I'll just read a little bit more about the story before we share the graphic video. The website Flight Radar 24 shows that the Delta flight was about 2 hours into its 8-hour flight when it turned around. Here's what the pilot told aircraft traffic control. He goes, this is a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who's had diarrhea all the way through the airplane. So they want us to come back to Atlanta, the pilot said. So now we're going to look at someone who just passed a camera all the way up the aisle. And you can just see.
Hold on.
It's a river of feces. That
Hold on, man. Hold on. I thought he was pooping his pants and smelled bad. You're saying
No. It was flowing down the aisle, brother.
Oh, like he stuffed the toilet?
No, man. I think he did it in his seat. And it just flowed up the aisle. There was so much of a river.
God, Johnny.
Look right here. Okay, just look down. You see they've got these like paper towels down here. Do you see this? This
Johnny,
blue?
that's the most insane thing.
Look, you can see it. Like it's right there. It's there. Look, it's there. It's going all the way up the aisle, dude. Dozens of feet. That's like
How
15
does he
feet.
do
of
that, Johnny? How does he do that?
The only thing I can assume is that so he filled up his pants. He probably had shorts on. Never wear shorts on a plane. It flowed down the seat, and then when they tilted forward, maybe went, or maybe went to, I mean, it looks like it went that way, but maybe I guess when they were trying to get some altitude, and the nose tipped up, it just all flowed down the aisle. Down the middle of the aisle. He must have been in an aisle seat. Can you imagine sitting next to this?
No, Johnny, that'd be the worst. And he has to be what if he's sitting in first class? You paid all that money.
I never pay for first class. If I get upgraded, thank you. But
do not sit next to me.
Oh my God. On a flight to Barcelona, you're 2 hours into it, and then this guy just starts like a fountain flowing from his butthole.
Oh, what is this?
A chocolate fountain.
Oh my God, Willy Wonka? What is this? Oh,
devastating.
Johnny, that's gross. So
here's another crazy story. We're just going to show you the video here because
in a world first,
I think this warrants showing the video. You probably all heard about this at some point, but I just wanted to share this. Did you hear about this, Sam?
In a world first, a neurosurgeon in Australia has removed a worm found alive in a woman's brain. The creature measured around 8 centimeters,
There it is.
or 3 inches, and it's understood to be the larva of an Australian native roundworm, not previously known to be a human parasite. It was discovered during a biopsy operation last summer. Details of the shock find have been revealed in a new article published by the experts involved. The 64-year-old patient had been admitted to hospital after experiencing forgetfulness and worsening depression over 3 months. Well, we can talk now to the neurosurgeon at Canberra Hospital who discovered that worm, Dr. Haripriya Bandi. Welcome to DW.
Good job
Dr.
on
Bandi,
the name,
before
bro.
we get to the
Great.
significance of the worm, I'd like to first ask
I
you
know
to
you
simply
respect that.
tell us about the moment of discovery, a shock, I take.
I love this guy.
Absolutely. Neurosurgery is exceptionally planned. It requires imaging beforehand. We very rarely find something that we're not expecting to find. And during this case, when we did an open biopsy of the skull, we'd opened up the normal tissues that we, as we usually do. We found abnormal brain. It looked a little bit discoloured. My junior doctor had taken off some more minor samples, a few millimetres, and they didn't look particularly abnormal. But this poor woman had been suffering for so long, and I thought it was really important to get her an answer. So we followed the stereotactic map that we'd created beforehand and could actually dissect using fine dissectors where the abnormality was on the MRI beforehand. And we did that and found, oh gosh, it's behaving like a tumour, whatever this is. And then I used tumour holding forceps and lifted out something that definitely was not what I was expecting. A linear, squiggling line.
We know what it is.
My
It's a worm.
junior doctor said, is that an artery? Because that's what it looked like. But I said, it's not an artery. We're nowhere near any artery. And I noticed it was moving and immediately went, please just get it out of my forceps. Gosh,
Oh
just
my
get it out of
God,
the forceps.
freak
So we rapidly
out.
put it into a pathology pot and it was a vigorously wiggling worm.
Oh my God.
I see you have a model of the brain in your hand. Can you just hold that up a little higher and point to where you found that worm in the brain?
Yeah, apologies. This is just a rudimentary model of the cranium. And so basically this lesion that this lady had.
Anyway, that's, boy, that, can you
Dude, Johnny,
imagine
that is insanity. Imagine being that worm. That has to be like dimension traveling to the worm. The worm going from its little house where it's all warm, it's got food it can eat, and then suddenly now it's in a dimension. It doesn't know where it is. It's time traveling.
And
It's
how
got
do
to
you
be
get
the craziest thing ever.
How do you get a worm in your brain? Here's a story from the Washington Post, how a medical mystery led to a wriggling parasite in a woman's brain.
Oh,
She says that she arrived in hospital with a confounding set of symptoms. She reported 3 weeks of abdominal pain, a dry cough, and night sweats. And then the test revealed that she had lesions on her lungs, liver, and spleen, and an abnormally high white blood cell count. This, to me, it tells you that the brain is so damn temperamental. You know, it just a slight little something is off, even a tiny worm like that. And think about all the problems it caused for her, just a little thing. And that tells you that like the 5G thing is absolutely plausible because, you know, if a tiny little worm can cause all these problems, you think about how much just a subtle, you know, just a subtle change, like from an intense like radio wave or something like that could cause to your brain. This is the one of the guys involved in covering this said it was like an episode of House, and that's really what it is. I'm sure. Did you watch House? I love that show.
I watched some of it. I
really like that show. It's a great show to watch, like when it's just on now, reruns, you know. I've seen these worms, and this is an expert. I've seen
Johnny,
these worms.
I gotta go.
In all sorts of places of other animals, and so far the human was just missing. So it sounds like this is something that it was just bound to happen. Did you see this giant alligator? Did you see this giant alligator that got captured in Mississippi? I didn't know alligators got this big, dude. Look at the size of this. This is an alligator, not a crocodile. This is Mississippi. Look at this thing. Are you looking at this?
Yeah, I mean that makes me believe in dinosaurs.
An alligator captured in Mississippi was more than 14 feet long and weighed 802.5 pounds.
Just imagine what it ate.
Oh, I mean,
They had to eat other alligators.
I'm sure. I mean, that's the only probably. I mean, what like giant, just the hugest fish, I guess. Look at that, dude.
Dude, fuck that.
We used to. There was this guy when I lived on Hilton Head that would capture alligators that ended up in the wrong places, like on golf courses and stuff, and he would always bring them by the newspaper for us to take pictures of to put them in the newspaper. And I mean, I've seen some pretty big ones. I've never seen anything like this.
That scares me. How do you lock that down?
I don't know, man. I guess what it is that what it takes to close, they have a lot more power to close their mouths than they do to open their mouths. So if you can get the tape around their mouths, just a little bit of tape is enough to hold them in place.
Yeah.
So you sent me well, no, that's not right. Hold on, just a couple more stories here. So Mitch McConnell had another episode of freezing up, and I don't.
Yeah.
How is this guy still allowed?
Like Kentucky is Kentucky gets so much shit for being like running. Kentucky is a great state. It's a great state, but yet they keep electing, and this makes me even question whether elections are real or not.
Yeah, because who's voting for? I mean, this is literally, or almost literally, sorry, weekend at Bernie's. I mean, this guy's barely there. Watch this.
What are my thoughts about what? Running for re-election.
He starts this clip by saying, "What am I talking about? What?" And then the guy says, "Running for re-election."
Oh, that's
and you're hearing nothing at home because he's not saying anything. He's got this dead-eyed look.
Senator running for re-election in 2026.
And a woman comes and puts her arm.
What do you think's going on with him? I just like.
Well, they say he's recovering from, and you saw Biden come out and say, I have a lot of experience with brain stuff, and I know that this is normal in the recovery from I guess he had like maybe a stroke or a brain bleed or something that they're saying he's recovering from.
Why is he running for re-election? This just lets you know that they just keep these guys in that they have on lockdown through blackmail, and they're just going to run them into the ground.
They're essentially human robots, that are puppets.
If they had somebody they could replace him with, they would.
Look at his skin too. There's something unnatural about the way his skin looks.
Yeah, he's got turtle face.
But look at his skin though, dude. He's got almost no wrinkles. But do you get what I'm saying? Look at his skin, man. No, there's something weird about this guy.
Yeah, he's been doing a posh job forever.
Nah, but even that, you get wrinkles. Like at least most people do who have emotions. Maybe it's because he just doesn't he doesn't laugh or cry or get angry. He just makes that face the whole time. But so this woman comes in to offer him some help.
Question, Senator, running for re-election in 2026.
He goes, yes. He's still staring.
We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny.
And look, this guy, he can't let go of the podium. He's just gripping onto it. Bewildered, lost. This is that look about Biden having.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Please speak up.
Dude, lady, shut it down, you dumbass.
Did you hear her try to play it off at the end? She like maybe he didn't hear the question.
Shut it down.
So
Johnny, I want to end on this because I am leaving. So if you go to Theo Vaughn's channel.
Hold on, I gotta stop the screen share.
If you go to Theo Vaughn's Twitter, he's got this video up from his podcast, and he's talking about this guy named Colin P. Thomas. And I don't know if you followed this thing, but there's been a bunch of podcasts, Firing the Kid, Jason Ellis Show, and obviously Theo Vaughn and other people. And he has he's talking about this guy, Colin P. Thomas. And this guy basically had a company that signed all these podcasts to this is allegedly, but based on what Theo's saying, I mean, I can't stay long enough to watch this whole thing. Maybe we should talk about it in the next show. But basically, this guy defrauded everybody out of their ad money.
Wait, okay. Show me what you're talking about here. Is it this?
Well, no, this is along the lines of it. Go back.
Okay.
I mean, Theo Vaughn. This is it right here. This is I
want to talk about something.
I'll speed it up.
That has been tougher. I want to talk about something. Our podcast was defrauded. We were stolen from. We were taken advantage of. A lot of ways to say it. The company that did it is Cast Media, and the man that did it is Colin Thompson. And I'm gonna put his picture in here. And
I gotta say, Sam should have seen it coming. Look at that guy.
No, I'm with you. But here's the craziest thing about this story. So he's lost 6 figures. I know Firing a Kid has lost 6 figures. He says that there are people who lost 7 figures. Now, if you scroll up on Theo Vaughn's thing, this is one of the craziest stories because this guy, Colin P. Thompson, is still working.
Well, Sam, can you explain this to me? Because if you don't know, the way it usually goes with podcast advertising is you get paid about 3 months in arrears. So you'll do the ads for a month, and then a month later, 30 days later, you'll report the listenership, the downloads for that episode. You can add YouTube to that if you get numbers on YouTube, and then 30 days after that, you get paid out basically, and because you get paid through a third party. They're middlemen. It used to be we engaged directly with the advertisers, but there are now middlemen, advertising agencies. The companies go to them, they book the space with us, and then the companies pay them, and then they pay us. Now, this guy would have been one of those middlemen. He would have engaged with advertisers. But the thing I don't understand is after he didn't pay you like one time around, why would you keep working with him?
I don't know, but basically he effed all these podcasts from what they're telling me. Allegedly, I have to say that. But so and Jason Ellis tells the story about this guy where he's asking where the money is, according to Jason Ellis. They're not getting back to him. His contract is coming up. He wants to renegotiate or something.
Wait, whose contract? Whose contract?
Jason Ellis's contract
with
the podcast.
Cast,
yeah,
with Cast. Okay.
Yeah, this is according to his video. He goes, "I'm waiting. I want to talk to them about what's going on." They push back the meeting. They don't get back to them. They push it back. So one day he goes, "When are we doing this meeting?" They go, "Well, since you didn't opt out, you've opted in for another year." So the guy pushed it back to the thing. So what makes this story crazy is if you go back to Theo Vaughn's thing real quick, and then I have
that makes sense though. What you just said, if they have contracts, that would be why they didn't. They must have an exclusive deal with this guy.
Yes.
And
so
and they're not allowed to engage with
guy. So
market.
There's if you go back to Theo Vaughn's original page, not to that, the original page.
I don't know what you mean.
Can you scroll down, or is that
that?
Okay, go, keep going to this. Podcast One wants to sign all these guys with this guy, Colin. They're going to work with this guy, Colin.
No kidding.
And Colin tries to yeah.
Okay, this is what Theo says. Just for transparency, this is the company that approached me with Colin Thompson from Cast Media. Can't believe they are going public this week. Oh, they're going public. Wow,
yeah, that's why they want all these podcasts, because it would raise their numbers.
Oh, dude, Podcast One is huge, man. So if this guy was engaged with them, then he was, I could see why people thought he was legit.
Yeah, I mean, it's but Johnny, do you understand? This is after Cast Media that they're all going to move to Podcast One.
This guy's going to be with them now. He wasn't before.
Yeah.
Wait, but he just said that. This is the company that approached me with Colin.
Colin tried to bring them all over. I believe this is what Theo's saying. Because if you actually go back and listen to it, because I don't have time to listen to this.
I got it on double speed.
I don't know exactly how to say it, so I'm going to do my best.
I gotta go.
We're part of a larger group of podcasts that were stolen from, right? We were part, in total, I've just between talking with folks, there's up to $4 million that I know of that people were taking advantage of. We're in the 6 figures. I know of podcasts that are in the 7 figures. And Colin Thompson, that's his name. I want to say his name so you know it. People get taken advantage of a lot in business, and businesses.
If you're listening at home, the guy's he doesn't have frosted tips. He's got frosted 3/4, like the whole thing's frosted.
He's got bad guy blonde, frosted blonde hair.
He's like Val Kilmer in the late mid 90s. I would say the hair of Val Kilmer, but the face of a weasel.
Tactics and stuff to hide themselves, and they'll use bankruptcy or the threat of this or that, and he may get my money. That's okay. I'm fortunate that I can still have touring and that I can take care of myself. But you fuck with the wrong rat, Colin. I'll tell you that, brother. And I'll just tell you guys what happened. We had a deal with this company, right? And it was started off good, and then it started to get where we were getting less of our payments. And we were reading the ads. We do the ads, we read them out loud, and you guys support some of them, and thank you. And then it got to be where we were getting paid less of the payment we were owed. And they sell all the ads a year in advance, so you're kind of stuck into the year, right? And the advertisers were paying Colin Thompson and Cast Media, and they weren't paying us. They would pay us a little bit, and they had a reason why. And so one of the craziest parts was we kept asking, hey, we have to get paid, man. We have to, and we weren't getting paid. So finally I was able to make a new deal, and just cut ties completely. I made sure that everything, they breached our contract. And so I was able to cut ties. And then they come along, Colin Thompson comes along, and he joins, there's a new company that has a stock that's going live soon, right? Or it's
after he's at the
this company
money.
called Podcast One or Live One, right? They get me on a call, with, I think the guy's name Rob Ellen. Yeah, that's the guy's name, Rob Ellen. And his brother is Doug Ellen, who's like a screenwriter, and I think
Doug Ellen's pretty famous,
successful. But they get me on a call with this guy, Rob Ellen, right? And they tell me that if you come over to our new network, over to this new network, Podcast One, that we'll pay you some of what you're owed in stock, right? But the stock hasn't gone public, so they're trying to, it felt like to me, they're trying to leverage our podcast and other podcasts to then make their stock do well. And then if that happens, then we'll get a share of our money,
This
right?
is insane.
The whole thing to me felt really seedy. And the worst part to me was, I said, well, what about Colin Thompson? I said, that guy's a crook. And they said he's going to be, they said we felt like he's done a good job and that he would be part of the team still.
Unbelievable.
So that's just, I know some of this is like inside baseball, man, but to me it was just it felt real.
That's crazy, Sam. Well, this is high drama, dude. This is wild.
That is the craziest thing, that they have the ball
$4 million
to bring that guy over after he defunded all these guys of so much fucking money, bro. It's nuts.
I wonder if he's got them over a barrel.
Daddy's got to go. Johnny, thank you so much.
I was happy to keep going. It's 3:10 a.m. where I am.
I got to go, bro. I got shit to do. I got to get up early to head out to Austin. Go to Sam.
Oh, good luck with that, man. Good luck with that. What time is your flight?
We'll do our best, buddy. I'm feeling good. I love you. You love me. Go to samtripoli.com. Dates are coming. See me live. Watch me soar. Watch me battle fat midgets. Okay. In the thing. We'll talk about that in the next show. I love you guys very much. I will talk to you soon.
Pick up your guitar. Sing me a song. This was Groover's paradise. Now the Groover is gone. Was a cool little city, but time marches on.